Today I'm going to be looking at DynAssist, an absolute powerhouse of a vocal plugin. I have never used anything quite as powerful and useful and simple with what it's actually got as this. This plugin was developed by Noisework Audio and I've absolutely blown away with it. I've never been this excited about a plugin really in a long time because it is so many hours of work that mix engineers and producers and people have to do with their vocals put into one plugin in possibly the most streamlined process I've ever seen. So I'm going to jump in straight away and we're just going to crack right into this. I'm going to load up DynAssist. This vocal stem I've got here is from a track called I Am a God that I did with Backchat. It was used at the League of Legends World Championship last year for the T1 and Faker walkout in the quarterfinal. Awesome song, had a lot of fun doing it. So I've loaded up DynAssist here for the stem already. Gonna make it big so we can get it like a full-blown thing. I'm just gonna play and everything kind of loads up. It is an ARO plugin, by the way, so just check on the Noiseworks website about how that interacts with your specific DAW. For Logic, I had to load up Logic with Rosetta for that to work, and yeah, works perfectly fine, doesn't interrupt my sessions whatsoever, but just something to be aware of. So what I have done here is I have I'm just going to load the defaults because I was playing with it before. But what you got here is a super simple, super intuitive UI. One of my favorite little things is this loop thing at the bottom, which interacts with your DAW loop function, which I thought was, just a cool thing that, they've thought of everything. And that's those little things I appreciate. You've got your target loudness that you can set here. And this awesome, just intuitive, it automatically changes and happens. It's unbelievable. There's the vocal mode, the instrument mode, which you can just toggle between super quickly as it happens. Then you've got ride, vox gate, breath, sibilance, and all. All just shows all the settings and allows you to kind of headphone between things without jumping between tabs. Really nifty. Basically what I'm just gonna do super simply is I'm gonna just turn all of them off. I'm going to turn the whole plugin off. I'm going to play the stem, then I'm going to turn it on, and one by one, I'm just going to add things through. This kind of plugin, there's genuinely not much I can say. I just need to show you what you can do with it, how crazy it is. And then after the fact, then we can have a little bit of a chat about a few things. I'll go into each one of these 4 settings. I'll headphone the breath and the sibilance so you can see what's happening. We'll toggle between a couple of the presets after that so you can see what's going on. But honestly, this is one of those showcases where I just don't need to say very much. I'm just going to let this plugin do the work. I'll also show you manual editing mode, which is really cool. And we'll go from there. So I'm just going to get started.
I've been tunnel vision, you can't stop the vision that I'm on. Been in competition with my opposition for the top position on the rung. I just got ignition, now the clock is ticking and I got it ringing the alarm. I'm in top condition in the top division, this is dominance, pressure is on. If I'm ever second, it's second to none. I'll never quit while there's breath in my lungs. I am relentless, I'll rest when I'm done. Hunger inside of me, I'm on the hunt. I'm on that boss level energy, I'm in my villain mode. Eyes on my enemy, handle my weaponry. I put in work like there's 10 of me, I put in work like there's 10 of me, huh? On a mission, I've been tunnel vision, you can't stop the vision that I'm on. Been in competition with my opposition for the top position on the rung. I just got ignition, now the clock is ticking and I got it ringing the alarm. I'm in top condition in the top division, this is dominance, pressure is on. If I'm ever second, it's second to none. I'll never quit while there's breath in my lungs. I am relentless, I'll rest when I'm done. Hunger inside. Yeah. I've been on a mission, I've been tunnel vision, you can't stop the vision that I'm on. Been in competition. Yeah. I've been on a mission, I've been tunnel vision, you can't stop the vision that I'm on. Been in competition with my opposition for the top position on the rung. Yeah. I've been on a mission, I've been tunnel vision, you can't stop the vision that I'm on. Been in competition with my opposition for the top position on the rung. I just got Can't stop the vision that I'm on. Been in competition with my opposition for the top position on the rung. I just got ignition, now the clock is ticking and I got it ringing the alarm. I'm in top condition on a mission. I've been tunnel vision, you can't stop the vision that I'm on. Been in competition with my opposition for the top position on the rung. I just got ignition, now the clock is ticking. On a mission, I've been tunnel vision, you can't stop the vision that I'm on. Been in competition with my opposition for the top. On a mission, I've been tunnel vision, you can't stop the vision that I'm on. Been in competition with my opposition for the top position on the rung. I just got ignition, now the clock is ticking and I got it ringing the alarm. I'm in top condition in the top division, this is dominance, pressure is on. If I'm ever second, it's second to none. I'll never quit while there's breath in my lungs. I am relentless, I'll rest when I'm done. Hunger inside of me, I'm on the hunt. I'm on that boss level energy. I'm in my villain mode, eyes on my enemy. Hand work like it's 10 of me, huh? On a mission, I've been tunnel vision, you can't.
So yeah, essentially right there, what I've just done is I've just toggled through everything. I'll just quickly A/B it again against the original stem.
On a mission, I've been tunnel vision, you can't stop the vision that I'm on. Been in competition with my opposition for the top position on the rung. I just got ignition, now the clock is ticking and I got it ringing the alarm. I'm in top condition in the top division, this is dominance, pressure is on. If I'm ever second, it's second to none. I'll never quit while there's breath in my.
So essentially, like, the main thing, yeah, it's a vocal rider, and then you can have things like your gate, which is super cool. A lot of the time, the gate I would use, if I've got a client who sent me a stem, there might be some floor noise depending on how they've recorded their vocals. Sometimes it's really awesome, it's clean. Also, this vocal, you know, is super clean. It was the one straight from the mix, from the track. It's just kind of out of context. Whereas sometimes clients might send me stems or things like that where there's a little bit of noise floor. That's where the gate will come in really handy. Being able to headphone solo your breath and your sibilants is really cool, so you can actually hear what you're impacting. This was the preset that I loaded up before the cleanup extreme, before when I was just playing around. You can hear, like, there are certain scenarios where the presets just aren't applicable, and I think that's the thing. This plugin is not a very heavy presets plugin. Yes, you can start them as a bass ground, but I think it really is just going to be whatever your vocals need it. If I play this,
On a mission, I've been tunnel vision, you can't stop the vision that I'm on. Been in competition with my opposition for the top position on the rung. I just got ignition, now the clock is ticking and I got it ringing the alarm.
like, you could definitely use those presets as a bass if you're looking to kind of clean up some stuff, but overall this is the kind of plugin where you would just load it up and make tweaks to taste for you. So I'll just restore the defaults. The other thing I wanted to demonstrate was the manual editing. So if we go over to the ride now, I'll just up these so we can just see what's going on. We've got those really nice smooth dot points now. So if you wanted to manually edit this, you could actually, it's crazy. You can actually zoom in, and let's just say, let's go with this section here. I want to select a point. I want to, like, really ride a whole section up or down. Yeah, hypothetically, you know, this is all just whatever. If you're really playing around with your dynamics, you want it to be simple. You know, this kind of defeats the purpose because that carries over. You got to select the node and then go. Yeah, and if you hold shift, it can be, like, perfectly straight. So if I just go back and I play.
I've been tunnel vision, you can't stop the vision that I'm on. Been in competition with my I put in work like it's 10 of me, huh? I am a god. I am a god. I am omnipotent. My power's unlimited. I am a god. I am a god. My energy's infinite. I feel like I'm limitless. I am a god. I am a god. I am omnipotent. My power's unlimited. I am a god. I am a god. My energy's infinite. I feel like I'm limitless. I am a god.
And yeah, essentially you have the ability to go through and apply that across the entire stem. It's unbelievable. And it's super like easy. I think that's the thing. A lot of people will get nervous with plugins like this because it looks really full on. But at the end of the day, this is just a super easy plugin to use. Fundamentally, it has like 4 or 5 processes that everyone applies to their vocals, and they've just condensed it, super high quality. The processing is super dynamic. Everything just happens instantly once you change it. Same with the targeting loudness, just being able to really push things, and the way it just interacts with your DAW. Like I said, the looping function, how they're integrated together, how things change live and dynamically. I am just so impressed. Like, I know this isn't a plugin that adds effects and things like that, like in the sense of things like choruses, reverb, whatever. This is as utility as it gets, and for people like me who are spending, sometimes no time at all doing vocal repair, and sometimes almost spending more time repairing than they are actually mixing, this thing is an absolute game changer. So what I'd recommend, if you I can't remember if there is a trial or not. I feel like there would be a trial for this. Go check out Noiseworks Audio. They have a couple of really awesome plugins. This one, go grab the trial. If not, definitely just grab it, honestly. Like, this is one of those plugins where it is a bit of a no-brainer. This is going to save you time, save you hours, and at the end of the day, you're going to be able to get through more songs as a result of it. So, yeah, definitely go check out Noiseworks Audio. Go grab DynAssist, and it's an amazing plugin. It's a powerhouse of a vocal unit. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments or message me. I'm super available, happy to answer any mixing questions. But yeah, Noiseworks Audio have put together a phenomenal offering for engineers and producers and vocalists alike. Like I said as well, there's also the instrumentation section, which truthfully, this is not what I use DynAssist for. I kind of don't know what I would apply it to, but there's a whole section on the site about how you can kind of use things more. For me, this is the ultimate plugin for vocal assistance. Really getting the most out of the dynamics, getting the most out of a take. So yeah, absolutely worth checking out. Just an amazing, amazing product.